video on trying something new. So I was in the cash and carry, and I normally don't buy my meat from the cash and carry, but I noticed that the mince was on offer, and I kind of thought, well, let's give it a go. I normally don't like switching suppliers. I normally like to know what I'm buying, and to try something new, it's kind of quite difficult. Because if something goes wrong, then you kind of have to correct that problem and potentially throw things out. But I kind of thought, well, I'm here at work, I'm cooking some mince anyway, so let's give this other mince a go. So what we're doing, we're making cottage pie. I'm not going to faff around with it, I'm not going to fry it off. What I'm going to do is going to put that 2 kilos straight into that pan, and we will put some water in, not stock. You'll see the reason why I'm not going to use stock later on. And then for 2 kilos worth of mince, I reckon a kilo of onions and a kilo of chopped carrots will go in later. But we'll cook that mince for about an hour first before we add in the vegetables in. I'm not going to sweat them off. I'm not going to caramelise anything. I'm just going to do a basic recipe. And then what we'll do is we'll drain off the liquid and we'll thicken it up with gravy granules, and it will it's an easier way of doing things and getting the same amount of flavour into things rather than adding a stock cube or something like that you can't really kind of control the level of seasoning in it. Yes, anything else? No, that's it. I'm sure that's it. Yeah, that's fine. And then we'll kind of see what fat comes off it as well, because it doesn't look that lean. It looks like there's quite a bit of fat in it, but we'll see once it's cooked. So we've had an hour and quite a lot of fat has come to the top. I don't want that in my cottage pie, so we're going to skim off that fat. And then here I've got a kilo of chopped onions and a kilo of chopped carrots. They're just not too fine a dice and nothing fancy. You know, I'm not bothered about squares or anything like that. So we'll skim off that fat, we'll save that for something else, and then we'll add those vegetables to that pan, bring it back up to boil, and then slow simmer for another hour and a half maybe, and it should be fine. But at the moment, I haven't got a spoon. At the moment, that mince tastes fine. I don't know if I can. No, I can't really go with it, but it seems tender so far. So it seems like it's going to be okay. The mince and the vegetables are now nice and tender, so I should be able to just have a look at the vegetables. So the vegetables are, there we go, just squished to bits, and then just quick taste of the meat. Yes, that's very tender. So, right, what we need to do now is to strain most of the liquid off that through a colander. So it's just a case of tipping this pan into there, and the colander will collect the meat. And then we'll thicken it up with some gravy granules. So, well, the meat up with the gravy granules. I'll do that, I'll show you, actually, because things can be a little bit confusing, can't they? Right, so that is the drained meat and vegetables with the, well, I don't want to lift that up, but the cooking liquid has passed through. Now we need to put that into well, I've already made some cottage pie, so put that meat into this pan and thicken it with these gravy granules. So I'll half thicken it, and then you can see how it is. Right, so I have added some gravy granules to that, beef ones, and what's happened is it's thickened it up like that, and you don't need to worry about it forming into lumps or anything like that. It'll just naturally want to thicken that up without the kind of use of flour or a roux or anything like that, or corn flour. But that's just not quite thick enough. It needs to be a little thicker than that. So we can have a look here, and this is another one which I've done, which is just in a container. So that's thickened up just nicely, so that's just got a little bit more in, just to make it thicker. Then what we do, put it into a tray, and then mashed potato on top, buttery mashed potato, and then I always put cheese on. But you don't kind of need to see that bit. It was more about that mince that I bought that was just a little bit cheaper, and documenting how I kind of do things. But anyway, so that's success. It'll be delicious. There we go.